Have you ever found yourself, or someone you care about, getting up over and over again through the night just to use the bathroom? Not once, not twice, but maybe 3, 4, even 5 times every single night. At first, you think, maybe I had too much water before bed, so you cut back on evening drinks. Then you try napping less, staying more active during the day, avoiding caffeine. But still, there it is, that constant need to go. The moment your head hits the pillow, your bladder starts playing games. And if it's not happening to you, maybe it's happening to someone you love, a parent, a spouse, an elderly neighbor. They're dragging themselves out of bed in the dark, risking a fall, stumbling half asleep to the bathroom, night after night. It's exhausting, it's scary, and it starts to feel normal. But here's the thing, it shouldn't be. Frequent urination at night, especially in older adults, isn't just annoying. It disrupts deep, healing sleep. It drains energy. It can increase confusion, raise blood pressure, and even lead to dangerous injuries. Yet so many families just accept it as part of aging. But what if I told you that something as simple as a few vegetables, yes, vegetables, could help change that? I'm talking about 4 powerful foods straight from nature. Not pills, not harsh treatments, just everyday veggies that you can add to your meals, and that science has shown can help ease that overwhelming urge to urinate throughout the night. Some of them might already be in your fridge, and one of them, honestly, might surprise you. We're going to talk about what these vegetables are, how they work, how to prepare them, and why they could be a game changer for your sleep, your comfort, and your health. So if you're ready to take back your nights, feel more rested, and help yourself or someone you care about finally get some uninterrupted sleep, this video is for you. Comment "Better Sleep Starts Now" below if you're ready to make a small change with a big impact. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Care for more simple, powerful tips to help you and your loved ones age with confidence, comfort, and peace of mind. Let's dive in. You deserve a good night's sleep. Let's begin with a vegetable that doesn't often get the spotlight, but quietly does wonders for your bladder: asparagus. Now, I want to tell you about Mrs. Ruth. She's 73, a widow living quietly in a small house just outside the city. Her daughter visits on Sundays, and during one of their chats over tea, she mentioned she'd been getting up 4, sometimes 5 times a night just to go to the bathroom. It left her groggy, worn out, and frustrated. She'd stopped reading before bed because she was too tired to concentrate, and she was starting to nap more during the day just to catch up on sleep. Then a neighbor, also in her 70s, told her to try something a little unusual. She said, just start adding asparagus to your meals a couple times a week. Not fancy, just steamed. Try it for a month. Ruth thought, why not? She started having it with lunch twice a week. Nothing else in her routine changed. And something surprising happened. After just a couple of weeks, Ruth noticed she was waking up maybe once at night, sometimes not at all. She wasn't rushing to the bathroom. She wasn't stumbling in the dark anymore. She was getting her sleep back. So what was happening? It turns out asparagus isn't just good for your kidneys. It's rich in a natural compound called asparagine, a gentle, natural diuretic. Now, I know that word diuretic can sound like a red flag. You might think, wait, don't diuretics make you go more often? And yes, they do. But here's the trick. When used early in the day, they help your body release excess fluid before bedtime. They help your kidneys do their job more efficiently during the day. So your bladder doesn't have to work overtime while you're trying to rest. Think of it like giving your plumbing system a head start. But here's where a lot of people get it wrong. They eat asparagus with dinner, or even later, and that just moves the problem into the nighttime. Instead, have it with lunch. Early afternoon is best. Steam it lightly. Don't drown it in sauces or salt. Just a touch of olive oil, maybe a squeeze of lemon. That's enough. It'll keep the natural benefits intact without loading you up with things that irritate the bladder, like sodium. You don't need to eat it every day. Even twice a week can make a real difference over time. And it's not just anecdotal. Nutritionists and aging specialists are beginning to recognize how certain veggies like asparagus support urinary timing, not just overall kidney health. But asparagus is just the beginning, because while it helps you flush, there's another green that helps your body hold. It strengthens, calms, and supports the very muscles that keep your bladder under control. And chances are, it's sitting in your fridge right now, being overlooked. Now, let's talk about another quiet hero in the world of nighttime bladder relief: spinach. It's not flashy, it's not exotic, but what's inside those tender green leaves can do more for your bladder health than you might imagine. Let me tell you about James. James is 80 years old, a war veteran, proud, independent, and a little stubborn, especially when it comes to changing his habits. But lately, he'd been having trouble sleeping, not because of pain, not because of noise, but because his bladder would wake him sometimes 6 times a night. He was growing tired, more irritable during the day, and forgetful. His daughter noticed. She lived close by and stopped in a few times a week. One day, while reading up on nutrition for aging men, she stumbled across a simple suggestion: add magnesium-rich foods for bladder control. Spinach topped the list, so she did something clever. She started making smoothies for James: banana, yogurt, a splash of almond milk, and a big handful of raw spinach. To her surprise, he didn't even notice. He liked the taste, and within a couple of weeks, she noticed something. James wasn't as cranky in the mornings. He was better rested. When she asked about his sleep, he said casually, "It's been better lately. Fewer bathroom runs." But it wasn't just the smoothie, it was the magnesium. You see, spinach is loaded with magnesium, a mineral your body desperately needs, but often doesn't get enough of, especially as you age. Magnesium does many things in the body, but one of its most powerful roles is relaxing muscles, including the muscles that make up your bladder wall. When those muscles are tight or overactive, your bladder sends urgent signals even when it's not full. That leads to those frustrating middle-of-the-night wake-ups. But when your bladder is calm, relaxed, and functioning the way it should, you sleep longer, you wake up fewer times, and you feel like yourself again in the morning. Now here's a common misunderstanding. A lot of folks think bladder problems are just about drinking too much water. And while fluid intake does matter, that's only part of the story. What's often overlooked is the mineral balance in your body, especially magnesium. Most seniors are magnesium deficient, and it shows in everything from muscle cramps to fatigue, and yes, even bladder problems. But it doesn't take much to start correcting it. Here's a practical tip. Add 1 handful of raw spinach to your lunch or your morning smoothie. Raw spinach is ideal because it keeps the nutrients intact. But if you prefer it cooked, that's okay too. Just lightly saute it. Try to avoid heavy cream spinach. It may taste good, but it's often loaded with salt and fats that can actually irritate the bladder. You'd be surprised how easily spinach blends into your day. In salads, soups, omelets, or smoothies, it works just about anywhere. So now we've talked about cleansing with asparagus and muscle support with spinach. But there's one more layer to this. Because even if your body's doing its job, what about your mind? What about the anxious thoughts, the restless nerves that jolt you awake and send you rushing to the bathroom, even when you don't really need to go? That's where our next vegetable comes in. One that works not just on the bladder, but on your entire nervous system. Now let's turn to a vegetable that most of us grew up with, but rarely think about when it comes to bladder health: carrots. Let me introduce you to Margaret. Margaret is 76, and she lives alone in a cozy brick bungalow with a little garden out back. She's the kind of person who always keeps her kitchen spotless and her curtains drawn just right. But for years, she struggled with something very personal: urge incontinence. She described it as a sudden, almost panicked feeling, like her bladder was calling the shots. Even if she had just gone to the bathroom, she'd get hit with the urge again, often at night. Sometimes she made it. Sometimes she didn't. She started avoiding long car rides. She skipped her evening book club. And when she lay in bed at night, she barely closed her eyes before her bladder forced her up again. One day, while reading an article in her local paper about inflammation and aging, she stumbled across something interesting. A short paragraph about how beta-carotene-rich foods like carrots might help reduce urinary tract irritation. So, Margaret made one small change. Instead of reaching for her usual evening crackers or those addictive salted peanuts, she started snacking on carrot sticks. Crunchy, raw, fresh carrots. Sometimes she'd roast them lightly with a touch of olive oil. She cut out acidic, salty evening snacks and swap them for something simple and natural. And within weeks, her sleep started to change. The urge in the middle of the night, it was still there, but not with the same urgency. She could fall asleep faster, and more importantly, stay asleep longer. So what's going on here? Carrots are packed with beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that your body turns into vitamin A. But here's what's often overlooked. Carrots also contain compounds that reduce inflammation, especially in soft tissue like the urinary tract lining. When your urinary system is irritated, even just a little, it sends frequent, unnecessary signals to the brain that say, hey, we need to go right now. But when the tissues are soothed, calm, and properly nourished, those signals quiet down. You're no longer running to the bathroom for false alarms. And here's the funny thing. Most people still think carrots are only good for eyesight. You hear it all the time. Eat your carrots, they'll help you see better. But modern research is beginning to show they also help your bladder see some peace by calming it from the inside out. Now, a tip that's easy to remember. Skip the dips. Heavy ranch dressings, creamy sauces, and salty seasonings can undo the good you're trying to do. Just keep it simple. Snack on raw carrots or roast them lightly, especially in the evening, around 6 p.m. or after. They satisfy that craving to munch without irritating your system. And here's the bonus. You'll also be supporting your immune system, your skin, and yes, your vision too. So far, we've talked about flushing the system with asparagus, strengthening bladder muscles with spinach, and calming the urinary tract with carrots. But now, we're heading into the most overlooked vegetable of all. It's humble, it's cheap, and it's often dismissed as just filler. But what it does for your nervous system, and how that affects your bladder, might just make it the most powerful one yet. And now we come to a vegetable that most people glance right over. It sits quietly in the produce aisle, often thrown into recipes just for crunch. But when it comes to fluid balance and nighttime urination, celery is one of the most underestimated powerhouses there is. Let me tell you about Harold. Harold is 82, sharp mind, good sense of humor. But lately, he had two growing problems. He was waking up multiple times a night to use the bathroom. And every morning, he'd feel dry mouth, sluggish, and slightly dizzy. Classic signs of dehydration. He tried drinking more water in the morning. He cut back in the evening. Nothing worked. His daughter brought him to a dietitian, hoping to sort things out. After a few days of journaling Harold's meals and habits, the dietitian made a curious suggestion. Try adding celery to your meals, just a little during the day. Harold chuckled. Celery? What's that going to do? It's just water and crunch. But he gave it a shot. He added chopped celery to his chicken soup at lunch. He threw in a few sticks with peanut butter for an afternoon snack. And over the next couple of weeks, things changed. He still went to the bathroom at night, but not 4 times. Only once, sometimes not at all. More importantly, he woke up clear-headed and rested. He was no longer starting his day on empty. So what happened? Well, celery isn't just water and fiber like most people think. It's actually packed with natural electrolytes, especially sodium and potassium in a ratio that your body finds easy to absorb. That's important, because these minerals play a vital role in how your body handles water. Here's the thing. When you're not getting enough of the right minerals, your body panics. It holds onto fluids too long, then releases it at all the wrong times, usually while you're trying to sleep. Celery helps rebalance that system. It supports your kidneys and bladder, giving your body what it needs to release fluid steadily throughout the day, instead of dumping it all at night. It's like giving your system a gentle reminder. Hey, you're okay. No need to wake me up at 3 a.m. just to run to the bathroom again. Now, a few things to keep in mind. Celery does have mild diuretic effects, which is why timing matters. You want to eat it earlier in the day. Lunch is perfect. Add chopped celery to a tuna salad, blend it into a green juice, or just snack on sticks with a little almond butter. But try to avoid it too late in the evening, especially after dinner. We're using celery to train your body to flush gently during the daytime, not overnight. And here's the misconception that catches most people off guard. They think if a food has water, it adds to your problem. But hydration is not about water alone. It's about how well your body retains and uses that water. And celery is one of the best natural tools to help it do just that. So let's take a moment to reflect. You now know about 4 vegetables, each of them simple, affordable, and available almost anywhere. Yet each of them powerful in its own unique way. Asparagus for flushing, spinach for muscle control, carrots for soothing inflammation, and celery for regulating hydration. But now that you have these tools, what does it all mean? What can this knowledge actually do for you or someone you love? Let's take a moment. We know it's tough. Watching someone you love, maybe your spouse, maybe your aging parent, maybe even yourself, wake up 2, 3, 4 times a night, eyes heavy, balance shaky. You see the toll it takes. They're not just losing sleep. They're losing peace. They're waking up irritable, maybe a little confused, and deep down it's scary. You wonder if this is just how things are going to be now. If every night means broken rest. If every morning means grogginess and frustration. But I want you to hear something important right now. It doesn't have to be that way. You're not powerless. You're not stuck watching things slowly unravel. Because now you've got tools. Simple, everyday foods that can support bladder health in ways most people overlook. These aren't just vegetables. They're part of a daily act of care, a soft but steady message to the body. I want you to rest. I want you to feel safe. I want you to heal, whether you're helping a loved one or you're the one waking up tired and frustrated. You're not alone. You have something now that's more valuable than fear or worry. You have knowledge. You have options. And you don't have to overhaul your whole life today. Just pick one vegetable. One. Maybe it's asparagus this week. Steam a few spears for lunch. See how your body responds. Maybe it's carrots, sweet and crunchy, perfect for snacking instead of that salty chip bag. Just try. Because progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from small, consistent, intentional choices, especially when made with love. And that's what this is all about, isn't it? Love. Not just adding years to life, but adding life, true, rested, present life, to the years. So take a breath. You're not failing. You're learning. You're growing. You're showing up for yourself or for someone who means everything to you. And that is enough. You're doing the best you can. And here, in this space with this community, you're not alone in that effort. At Elderly Care, we believe aging shouldn't mean suffering. It should mean adapting with wisdom, living with dignity, and resting peacefully, night after night. So hold on to hope, because the smallest changes often create the biggest waves. In your journey to better sleep and fewer midnight trips to the bathroom, it may have already begun. Let's keep walking it together. Let's take a moment to breathe and recap what we've learned today. We explored 4 powerful vegetables, simple, natural foods that might just help you or someone you love sleep through the night without those frustrating bathroom interruptions. Number 1, asparagus, a natural bladder cleanser. It helps flush toxins and salt early in the day so your bladder isn't overloaded at night. Number 2, spinach, the magnesium powerhouse. It relaxes bladder muscles, easing spasms that can send you running to the bathroom in the dark. Number 3, carrots, the bladder's soothing root, full of antioxidants to calm inflammation in the urinary tract and reduce urgency. And number 4, celery, nature's hydration regulator. With built-in electrolytes, it supports fluid balance and helps your body hold water where it needs to, not in your bladder at 2 a.m. Even just one of these can be the first small shift toward better nights and brighter mornings. Because it's not just about avoiding trips to the bathroom. It's about getting the rest your body needs to heal, to think clearly, and to feel like yourself again. So here's my question for you. Which of these veggies are already part of your life? And are there others you've tried that help with nighttime urination? Leave a comment below. Your story might help someone else find a solution they've been searching for. And this isn't just a comment section, it's a community. If you found even one helpful idea in this video, take a second to tap the like button. And if you want more thoughtful, heart-centered tips like this, subscribe to Elderly Care. We're here every week sharing honest, research-backed guidance for helping seniors and caregivers thrive with confidence and dignity. And finally, thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being someone who shows up for yourself or for someone you love. You're doing more than you know. So, until next time, stay strong, Stay curious. And above all, stay caring. I'll see you in the next video.